Hey guys, I'm from Nonkata. First of all, I'm very annoyed because it's not even load shedding, guys. There's like a random power cut, and I thought I was gonna film this video like ndili like thinking ba no uzobuyombane, and then I'll be able to shoot this video, but it's already been over 2 hours and still nothing. It's just a random power cut on top of load shedding. It's just like in Naza, like you know what? It's fine. Anyway, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're having some wine because we're gonna do a very exciting video. A video that I have over anticipated, a video that I have overthought, okay? And a video that I have been patient with because I was thinking to myself, I'm gonna do this video, guy is spicier, but it just keeps getting worse, and now I'm just like the overwhelmed, like kuningi, okay? As you can see from the title of this video, I'm doing a review. I'm finally doing a review of Showmax's new show, The Mommy Club. I am so excited. I don't want to waste your time. Let's get straight into it. If you have not subscribed, please do hit the subscribe button. And don't forget to like, comment, and share. Let's have a sip and let's get into it. Guys, I'm day drinking and I have not done so in so long, but okay, it is what it is. So today we're going to be talking about the new Showmax show titled The Mommy Club. I think the show started last month, and it's not cool, guys, Nangoku, which is why I was saying to myself, but I've been thinking, no, I'm gonna do this video, like I've been postponing it, ne? Out of anticipation, like, no, this is a spicy episode, and it just keeps getting worse. After every end of an episode, it just seems like it's gonna get steamier and spicier, and I'm just like, no, I saw in the end, local review, because this show just keeps getting hotter and hotter. Anyway, let me quickly explain to you guys the premise of the show before I start breaking down the characters and basically establishing how I feel about each person on the show and where we are now in terms of the show and the friendship dynamics and everything regarding this show. So yeah, the Mommy Club is a show on Showmax, as I've mentioned. If you guys don't have Showmax, you probably should get Showmax, because Showmax has the best shows right now. In all honesty, like, you're gonna probably get better reality shows on Showmax than anything that's like on Mzansi Magic or DSTV. No offense. It's a new show on Showmax called The Mommy Club, and it's centered around these like quote unquote Santon moms, like bougie moms who are married to either wealthy men or they have businesses and accolades themselves, and we just follow their lives like in motherhood and them establishing this friendship. It's always like that type of story where we are bringing these kinds of women together. So these are like Santon or Stain City women, like bougie moms who are being introduced to each other and are establishing a friendship. Another cool dynamic of the show is that they actually explore a bit of like their parenting styles and how their homes are ran and the helpers behind it. They literally have segments where they just explore a little bit about the lives of the helpers, and I find like that's a very cool spin of the show, because it does take a village, you guys. Like, for most people who have the privilege to do so, you do get some help, whether it's from family, for a professional, whatever the case may be. But like them featuring that and making it a norm, in South Africa, guys, and I personally don't have a problem with glamorized content, if you could say, or glamorized motherhood or marriage, because that is still very much a portionate, like a representation of some people somewhere somehow. And also aspirational content is not bad, guys. So if you do aspire to be a young mom who is successful, or you aspire towards becoming a mom who is married to a wealthy husband, or you guys are building an empire together, whatever the case may be, personally I don't demonize that kind of content, because aspirational is still very much good. It is partially a representative of some people in this very much South Africa, although it may not be the reality of all moms or most moms, but it exists, okay? So it's okay to explore those kind of lives, and this is what these women are. Some of them are popular from other reality shows. Some of them are popular through their social media. Abanye are self-proclaimed celebrities, but we're gonna get into that. So what I like to do in terms of like breaking down a reality show or anything like that is that I like to start off with the people that are my least favorites, because I generally don't have much to say about them. And you know, I'm part of the people who say if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything. So I try to get those people out of the way, because I guess I don't have too much of an extensive opinion on them, especially positive wives or more in depth. So I would rather just keep them and then go into the people that I have, I guess, a lot more to say, people I find interest, whether they are my favorite people or I just have more opinions of them. So I'm gonna do it that way again, like Lay Show. So I'm going to start off with someone who I can definitely say is, should I say my least favorite? I don't know. I don't know. Let me just say someone that I don't necessarily care for on the show, and that is Olwetu Omuhle. You see, it's Omuhle Gela. I think I'm saying it. I hope I'm saying it correctly. Omuhle Gela, not Galane. Gela. Yeah, Omuhle Gela, who's actually in addition to the show, but interestingly enough, she was on the first episode. And she was introduced as Mrs. Mops' friend. I do want to say that Mrs. Mops is sort of like the Nini of the group, because most of the people are connected to her, but we're going to get into that. So Omuhle for me is my least favorite mom. She is she a single mom? I don't know. I don't want to have this opinion. I don't know. But she's a mom. She's unmarried, I think, because she's an extra, like she's an addition in the show, a friend of a friend. So we don't know too much of her life or her own personal story. It's like she doesn't have a peach. Let me just say it that way. She doesn't have a peach. She's there as a friend of the show. So she's Mrs. Mops' friend, but she was in the first episode. So we do see her, you know, enough to have an opinion about her. So in the show, she was introduced as Mrs. Mops' show, as I've said, is Mrs. Mops' friend, as I've said, and she comes in under this whole thing. Yoguti, she owns a franchise. She owns her own Tammy Taylor, which is a brand or a business that Her Majesty had, and then they're having this meeting and whatever. So I'm not gonna do this scene by scene, but I'm just trying to highlight where we meet these people and how they're introduced to the show. So for me, Omuhle, that is how she was introduced to the show. She is a friend of the show. But the interesting about Omuhle is that she is known by society, and I'm saying this holding her hand because this is a genuine perspective. I know Omuhle based on the scandal regarding the father or the paternity of her child, that she supposedly claimed that a guy was the father of her child. I won't say who it is, but she claimed that someone was the father of her child, and then that person went and got a DNA test, and then it turned out that that person wasn't the father, and it turned out the father was actually the guy's father. Am I making sense, guys? Lo muntu who was claimed to be the father was not the father, and then their father became the father. Like the messenger njalo, angazi nokuthi it was the uncle or the father, but Omuhle is known for that. Mina personally, I did not know she's a celebrity. Angazi nokuthi ebe usuka uqhamuka kuphi. Guys, I even asked on Twitter what she does, because I've never seen that lady anywhere else apart from like her being on the blogs and on Twitter. And I even heard the Tammy Taylor thing, the business, it wasn't even from the narrative of like, oh, congratulations to her, she's got a business. The story was that the guy's uncle, she started dating the uncle, and then the uncle bought her the company or the store. That was just like scandalous. And I guess for most people in this day and age, any publicity is good publicity. And I guess that's her storyline. In my opinion, I think she could own it, you know? Like she could just own it and be like, yeah, it is what it is. I've been the talk of the town, because that's all I know her from. I did, again, like I said, I asked on Twitter, but she's an actor kuzalo. That Uzalo, guys, and then about 2021. Like, and she must have not been in the first seasons, because I remember watching in 2021 and I don't remember seeing her. Or she wasn't a significant character. And they asked the guys, but like, no. In all honesty, I do not know her. And yeah, I only know her from the scandal, and I guess now she's on the show. And I found it very interesting that she really, hey guys, I don't want to speak on someone else's perspective, because I don't want to say she's delusional, but I think she doesn't understand that a lot of us really don't know her and only know her because of the baby daddy scandal. So yeah, I'm just gonna say that. I think that's all we hear of her or see of her as yet, and that's it. I don't think she's a very likable person also. Obviously, we're judging everything based on what we see on the show. She's just not really likable. Also, her remarks about Bulawayo or Zimbabwe not having satellite. She appears to be I mean, if she's so big and popular, she should be a well-traveled person, and that is a very ignorant statement to put out there. But yeah, that's her in my opinion. There's really not much I can say. We haven't even seen her kid or her as a mom. So I'm just like, well, I'm gonna go into Oratile. She's also sort of like an addition to the show, because she's not initially, I think she's introduced on the show, like on the third episode or something, or the second episode, I don't know. But she comes in as Her Majesty's friend, so Happy's friend. Who I guess she owns businesses in South Africa. She owns I don't know, an aesthetic clinic where people get their UV or where people get their drips and things like that. And she also owns weightless waist trainers, like a brand like that's on social media. So kudos to her for that. And I saw that she has like 2,000 subscribers, followers on Instagram, which I kind of understand, which makes a lot of sense, because she does make a big fuss about Her Majesty having followers on Instagram and her social media whole thing. I guess you would make it, if you did not care about social media, you wouldn't care. For instance, someone like Miss Mops, maybe I don't know how many followers Miss Mops has, but she has enough for her to feel secure. So she wouldn't really be discussing someone else's social media presence. So it does make sense why she makes such a big fuss of, Her Majesty having a lot of followers. And in all honesty, I feel like Oratile wants these women to be her friend, and none of them really care for her. And I'm not saying this to say that she's innocent. I'm not saying it to say that she's a villain, but I'm also seeing that a lot of these women have just chosen to demonize her. I guess maybe because of how she was introduced as like a +1, so they're still putting her, under that radar. Already when she was coming in, all Miss Manji were like, there's something off about her. There's something I don't trust about her. So Vele, I don't think she should have ever gotten comfortable with these women, which is why we have scenarios of her speaking freely, and then these women start nitpicking at everything that she speaks of. For instance, her speaking about Her Majesty and the social media thing, and then having Miss Manje being like, oh girl, you don't talk to like don't talk about her, you don't know what she's been through. I feel like she should have never gotten comfortable with them assuming that, oh no, we are girls, so I can talk to you about another woman and how I feel about her and her cloud chasing, which is the same thing that happened when she said it to Miss Mops, talking about how she feels Her Majesty is the cloud chaser. Miss Mops took that and took it straight to Her Majesty. I feel like Oratile should really understand that she hasn't established a friendship with anyone, so she needs to back up. She needs to back up and not be comfortable with these women. I found it very also interesting. Listen, she's not my favorite person, because also I feel like she's very hyper defensive, and her bringing up a completely like outside person to target Miss Manji, talking about her friendship with Kefi Boo, who's also a social media person. It has literally no relevance. She and her friend, Oratile brought her friend to the show, and her friend started dogging each other out. And Miss Manji was just sharing that to everyone else. How did it then become, oh, when I miss Manji, don't talk about people's friendships because when I'm in your friendship in A, B, and C. No, sweetie, you and your friend showed yourselves, Guti, your friendship is very shaky. Your friendship is very gooey. And people are just witnessing it. Because even for that to even happen in the presence of everyone else was very cringy. Even Nam Gendi Badisi. Nam Gendi Badisi, no. Why are you guys fighting in front of us? Aren't you guys friends? You guys are complaining about an event and A, B, C, and D. You guys brought this thing up. We did not ask you guys to tell us this, and you guys are just starting to talk about it. No, so I don't understand why she's blaming Miss Manji and trying to throw Miss Manji under the bus over something that has nothing to do with her. Again, I want to say Oratile has no friends there. She has no alliances there. She needs to get that into her head so that she stops speaking in comfort with these women. I guess the only person who's still giving her, the time of day is Nunu Rai. Nunu Rai, in all honesty, I know I'm speaking about her as like the third person, but she's my favorite. Like Nunu Rai is honestly my favorite. I love her commentary on everything. Her diary sessions are hilarious. When she says people are being childish and people are acting like high school students and Uti, all the games are silly and dumb, I am sitting here watching the screen agreeing with her because everything, that's why I need to, all of her diary sessions, spot on. I feel like she's very funny. She's very nonchalant. My first opinion of her was that she could not dress for the occasion at all because Sana, she wore a Burberry t-shirt and leggings to her son's first birthday when everyone else was dressed to the nines. Baby, you're supposed to be the Beyonce of your baby's birthday, okay? So for me, I feel like her dress sense was very questionable. Also, when she wore a simple silk dress to a Chanel themed party, hey girl, But I also feel like it, as the show goes, I'm starting to understand that this does tie with her personality. I think that she's a very generally chilled person. She doesn't overthink anything. Man on the show, and I heard that she's the youngest there, which in my opinion shows she's very chilled. She doesn't take anything like that deep. She hasn't acted out of character. I like her. Like in general, I feel like Nunu Rai is probably my favorite personality wise and just her whole energy. I like it. She's very calm, very chilled. And she's open and honest about her opinions on everything. Yeah, well, I like that about her. Even though I feel like also her being from Zim, it would be easy for the other women to sleep on her or to disregard her or to make her small. But she's holding her own, and I like that about her. I like that Polile. She doesn't really have any like extended direct beef with anyone. If she has an issue, she will move on, which I like about her. And then we're gonna talk about Miss Mops, which is, in my opinion, South Africa's fave. I feel like the South Africans love Miss Mops. Miss Mops for me is not really my girl, my kind of girl. I'm picking up that she's very feminine. She's very much a feminine lady. And she dresses well. Like she is the fashion girl, which is why most of her commentary, she always says something about someone else's outfit. Like she will always speak on someone else's outfit. And I get it. I mean, she's a fashion girl. And I'm sure that she takes a lot of time on what she looks like and what her outfits are, her makeup and her hair. So I get that she's like the fashion police. When everyone walks in, she's like looking at your outfit before you say anything. So I like her whole aesthetic. But in all honesty, I don't think I resonate with her in general. I know that she's also a YouTuber in cybersecurity. I just don't listen. They say she's a girl from Ekasi, which is perfectly fine. It's fine. And obviously she's in the burbs now. I just feel like the whole, hey guys, I don't want to say this because I know a lot of people are going to have a problem with this. And I'm also not trying to be politically correct, but she does that I don't know. Guys, I know the elegant lady aesthetic. I know that. And I know that sometimes for some people it comes naturally. But that whole, darling, I don't think so. Like, I'm sorry, I just don't resonate with that. And I'm not just speaking of the show. I've also come across her YouTube channel because she's also a YouTuber. And I get it, she's an elegant girl, she's glamorous, she's fabulous. But I feel like there are sides of her where she's like a normal person. No, I don't want to say it like that. I don't want to say it like that. I don't know how to put it, guys. I just feel like I don't really resonate with her personally. And that's fine. It's nothing negative about her. I think she's a beautiful woman. She's stylish, she's fabulous, she's glamorous. She's feminine, which I absolutely love. I love her femininity. Like it shows, and I really admire that. But I just feel like I don't know. I don't know. Also, I feel like she's also a very well playing character on the show. I feel like she is aware that I'm on a show and I'm, lights, camera, action. Not so much about her persona and how she speaks and her flamboyance and stuff like that, but also how she interacts with the other women. She knows when to stir up drama. She knows when to hold back. She knows when to add spice. Even like her friendship dynamic with her and Miss Manji, that thing needs to end because they're so similar that they're clashing and they're in denial, or they're keeping each other close. That keep your enemies closer. I think they're also doing that because they literally sit and they're like, I like you, but I don't like how you dress. I don't like how you speak. You're so fabulous, such a great mom, but I don't like you. You're a snake, but you're beautiful. That's literally how, guys, watching Miss Manji and Miss Mops sit and talk is like, it's sick. It's insane. Watching them interact with each other is so weird because they're like, friend, I love you. Apologize to me. No, friend, but you hurt me. You apologize. Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry too. Huggies. What is that? No, I feel like that friendship needs to end immediately. I know conceptually it sounds great as an idea because they're both fabulous, they're both stylish, light-skinned galleys that like blonde and like glamour. But babes, no. You guys, it's either you're too similar or you want to be each other or you're competing with each other. Something is off with that friendship dynamic. I'm just going to put that out there. But overall, I get Miss Mops. I understand that she's the favorite girl. She's everyone's favorite girl. They love her. I thought that I would like her. I guess I do like her a bit more on the show compared to her YouTube channel, wherever else I've seen her. So I guess that is a plus. But I guess she holds her own on the show. She's like the queen bee of the show, if we're being honest, guys. She's the only one who... It's just like on a hierarchy. She's like, I'm me. And it's like all the other girls are acknowledging her as her, But yeah, that's Miss Mops. And then we're going to talk about Miss Manji. Miss Manji, I've probably been following Miss Manji for years, guys. I love Miss Manji. Not on the show necessarily, just off social media. I hadn't even heard her speak prior to the show. I've just followed her on social media. I like her energy. I like her vibe. Obviously, I don't know her personally. I don't know her life. I don't know her story. I don't know her family. But based on her social media content, I honestly feel like she's one of the moms that... I don't want to say like I inspire or I aspire towards or inspire me, but I love her energy. Like her and her husband look like such a fun, cool couple. You find them dancing and twerking with each other, dressed nice, traveling, with the kids, all dressed up. Like everybody's just looking cool, smelling good, living large, chopping life. I love that about them. Like just looking at their content and their pictures and their videos and stuff, they look like such a compatible couple. They're just fun, man. And if I were to envision myself as a young wife or mom. I really want to be sexy, fun, and cool with my partner. I don't want to be I wanna be traditional in a sense that matters, meaning like I'm showing up for my kids, I'm cooking, I'm an active parent. My husband, gets all of me, but I'm also like a fun and a mom, like I'm edgy, I'm sexy, and I embrace that aspect of myself. And I definitely get that from Miss Manji. I love that she's slightly conservative. She's not too over the board or too opinionated. I kind of get why Oratile. Yeah. I kind of get why Oratile says she acts like a Miss Goody Two Shoes. I honestly don't, I'm not sure if it's an act, but I get that maybe that's just her background or how she's raised or her story to be an empath. When someone says something bad about someone else, it just makes you feel awkward. You don't want to be around that engagement, or you want to be the voice of reason. I understand those kind of people because I'm also low key like that. Like, it's not about having a sanctimonious front or pretending to be this Christian person or this good person. But sometimes you don't feel comfortable in the, nitpicking or criticism of someone else. There are generally people like that, but I understand why someone else could perceive her in that way. But for the most part, I do enjoy Miss Manji. I do also feel like, again, her and Miss Mops should not be friends. She should forget that, or else she will always be sucking up to Miss Mops, because Miss Mops is, if you notice, Miss Mops doesn't waver. Even her apology to her was like, okay, friend, I'm sorry. It was disingenuous. And I feel like if Miss Manchi is being genuine with Miss Mops, she probably shouldn't. I feel like she has a better opportunity to have an alliance with someone like Nunu Rai. And even Her Majesty, I feel like she's also very positive about Her Majesty despite what everyone else is saying. I also understand that she's like, let me be in the happy bubble with Her Majesty. And then at the right time, I'll caution her. But at the same time, I understand why all the other girls are cautioning Her Majesty, because her story is a lot. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I can say about Miss Manji. Oh, I forgot to also mention that Miss Mops is the only one who is really showcasing a lot of her maternal side. She has dates with her kids, which is very beautiful. I really love that, and I thought I'd see more of that with Miss Manji, but we're not. So shout out to Miss Mops for at least embracing that part of the show, that she's a mom and she has fun with her kids. She talks to her kids about anything. Her kids feel comfortable around her. So I really enjoy that. In terms of Miss Manji, I feel like Sana, 3 kids under 5 is insane. But kudos to you. I do want to also say that the whole cousin being the nanny thing is a bit strange for me. I understand that the cousin went and studied, this as a profession. She wanted to leave the country and go be an au pair in the US or wherever. And then she came back and worked for her family. I just find that very strange. Also, when the cousin said that this was her first spa date when she went with the other nanny. Njani kaloku, because Miss Manji are living large and they're living a soft life. I understand that when I said this on Twitter, people were like, hey, but why can't Upalisa take herself to a spa day? I don't know. I just would never be enjoying life and traveling and going on spa dates when my cousin has never been on a spa date. My mom, in all honesty, doesn't enjoy spa dates and things like that. She's an overthinker, so she just thinks a stranger touching her is weird. But I've definitely ran that past her. And Balisa was so excited about this that you would think this is something she probably has done before. So I don't know, Jen, and the uniform thing, I guess maybe M17, you must wear your uniform. But if you're my cousin, I don't know, guys. I don't know. It's a very interesting and strange dynamic for me, but I'm not demonizing it. Perhaps the cousin is just very passionate about what she does and she wants to do it professionally and not only in her family. Maybe she wants to make a career out of this. And so if she starts out being professional in the best way possible at home, she'll do better elsewhere. So yeah, I can say that's my opinion. Again, we don't know their family dynamics, we don't know what it really is, but just hearing it on the show, a lot could be said about that. And then last but not least, guys, my battery's gonna die because there's load shedding. We're gonna talk about Her Majesty, Kesana, the Queen. Hey, oh happy Similani. What an interesting character, guys. I've never seen someone with so many chapters and like sides to her. Not so much sides, but like her story is so lengthy, happy, that I don't know how I feel about her. I generally don't know how I feel about her. I feel like the show has really showed us very, very, very controversial aspects of her as a mom. Her defense is that she is being a normal person, meaning that yes, I can agree that even Nami as a mom, I do get frustrated, and I'm like, Mimi, stop, yeah, bo. Like I get like that when it's hey. So her saying shut up to her 1-year-old or her 2-year-old, I get that she's saying, but she wasn't going to be pretentious because she's on camera and be like, hey, sweet baby, can you please keep it down, my angel? Her narrative is that that's how moms are when they're frustrated. But to be fair, guys, they were having a casual conversation. I would never get frustrated at my daughter when I'm having a casual conversation with other people about something else. I feel like that didn't really warrant that. I understand that she's saying we get frustrated, and I'm a mom too. I do. If I'm doing something important, or I'm focusing on something and my daughter's distracting me, then I might lash out. But not when I'm chitty chatting, space, and I'm saying I'm gonna clap you. No, guys, I'm gonna beat you. No, it's not even about the cameras. I just feel like, and it's such a loaded story because the older daughter mentions how her mom has said that she was a mistake. She was made as a mistake, and that obviously will never be healthy for a child to hear. And again, her defense is that she's a normal person. She makes mistakes, but the mistakes is I think we can acknowledge that your mistakes are wrong. And I like that they are going to therapy. I like that she is taking accountability and is trying to heal through this process. Guys. I also watched her on McG. She did an interview there, and she spoke about her relationship with her first daughter's father, and how she dated him when she was 19 and made a false accusation of assault, and then the guy got arrested for this falsely, only because her parents or her family did not approve of him being Nigerian. Guys, and I guess now they're back together, and you could say that they're going to live happily ever after, but what even is that? What even is that? I personally don't trust the guy's intentions, but I guess Her Majesty has made it very clear that she's an adult, she's not a child. She can make her mistakes. She's gonna be fine, like she'll recover. And that is very much fair and very much true. But I just feel like it's too, I don't want to say I'm not impressed, but it's very worrisome witnessing a woman go through this to this degree, all in one ball. Even her, and how her husband died with the side chick, and how she's actively blaming the side chick and wishing the side chick dead. Guys, it means Her Majesty. It means. Do I think she's a cloud chaser? I think she's a social media persona, and she's justified in marketing herself and her story. That is part of what she sells. That's why she does, developing or self-development books because it's about her story and how she has developed herself. So of course she wants people to walk through her journey. Would I consider that clout chasing? Maybe not. I would consider that content creation, you know, and social media marketing, because she has to be there. She has to share her story, and possibly this whole dynamic with this new engagement and this partner is just going to be another chapter in her brand and in her story and in her life. I don't think it's wrong. It has gotten her thus far. You know, all her scandals and all of her things have brought her to this point. For her to even be approached by Oratile base, that means that she's in an industry that exists and there's a market for it. There are people who want to hear from her. There are people who see her. I had never heard of Her Majesty prior to the show, and the fact that she's got 100,000 followers on TikTok, honey, you know, that means she's an established persona and brand on the social media streets, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that, in my opinion. That's her bread and butter, you know. I would never want to judge anyone, but I am worried about her whole thing, I could say, because she is raising daughters, only daughters. So I understand that she's making money and she has, you know, brought herself thus far. She's killing it in her industry. I don't even know what she does really. But again, she's raising daughters, and already her daughters are carrying a lot of trauma. And I just wish that going forth she could lead with caution. But again, I wouldn't really... It's still something mama site, guys. It's not just you can be the perfect mom, and that won't exempt you from, you know, troubles as your children grow. It will not exempt you. And I think people in general, you can try to be the best person and the most perfect person, but you can never know what's going to happen in life or where you're headed. I just wish that for the best that she can, she knows what her story is and what her next move is, and I wish that she could just carry herself with caution in terms of that. I understand that she's a strong-willed woman. She speaks her opinion, but sometimes, guys, it's a win-lose situation. It could go well. There are people who become superstars off of scandals and scandals and scandals, and I know that's how the industry moves nowadays. But no one talks about the detriment that comes with that. No one talks about the trauma. No one talks about, like, the reputation. Like, there are things that will always be stamped under your name, whether you like it or not, whether you try to start a new leaf or not. Like, no one wants to be honest about those things. And I feel like I would like Her Majesty to lead with caution a bit, because she is raising little girls. And yeah, I feel like she's also very much a likable person. She's like a sweet lady at the core. So I am rooting for her, shame in all honesty. You know, I just hate some of everything. Yeah. Guys, my battery is literally gonna die. My lights are dimming. So I'm gonna end the video off here. The show is still going on. I'm still watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed this little review. If you liked it, please hit the like button. Comment down below what your thoughts are, guys, about the show. Everyone on the show, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next one.